Can you guys still see the screen?
Yeah.
This is under general. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to our office for this seminar. We are also doing a webinar on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So for those who are watching us at home, thank you for joining our session today. So today we'll be going through Australia and Canada Skilled Migration Program, which is a program that can potentially give you a PR, permanent residence, or temporary residence. So later I will brief you a bit more on how to get the visa. So before then, let us introduce you to who we are. Okay, so we are AIMS Immigration Specialists, incorporated in 2006. So we have been 14 years in this industry. We also have 14 offices across Asia Pacific. So our main business will be visa applications, relocations. So we also help with business migration, investment migration, as well as some passport programs. So this is our vision and mission. Okay, so we want to be the leading and reputable migration and relocation provider in Asia Pacific, which we believe we are today. And our mission is to achieve every client's migration goals through our dedicated teams. Our core values, PUSH, stands for P stands for professionalism, utmost integrity, sincerity, human touch, empathy, and dedication. So why do we use push as a core value? A lot of people don't like to be pushed. If you go shopping and then the sales staff continue to try to force you or push you to buy your things, you feel a bit, agitated, right? But why do we have this? It's because for migration, it's something that you should never delay due to age. You will lose your points as you grow older due to the policy change because let's say once they get enough people, skilled workers, they might cut the quota. Also due to health. So right now you're healthy, you can include your spouse, children, and migrate together as a family. But touch wood, if anything happens to one of you, okay, this will affect the whole family application. Means you might not be able to migrate anymore. Okay, let us just to make sure this device is still okay before we continue. Okay, so right now these are the offices we have. We have offices in China, in Hong Kong, in Manila, Indonesia, Myanmar, Jakarta, Kuching, Perth, Adelaide, Singapore. Okay, Singapore is our head office. And today, we have about more than 300 staff in this company. And we help more than 20 destination countries. I help more than, migrate to more than 20 destination countries. And we also have helped 18,000 families to migrate to different parts of the world. So these are the countries we do. Australia, Canada are one of the more popular countries, and they offer skilled migration. And in fact, right now, it's the only two countries that do that because New Zealand is suspended due to the COVID. Okay, so we do US, UK, New Zealand through probably investment, and also European countries through buying properties, okay, donations maybe, Caribbean countries direct passport programs, or some Asian countries like Taiwan, Philippines, Hong Kong, Japan, different type of visa. So, our services. Okay, skilled workers is the focus for today. Okay, meaning to say that if your occupation is in the demand list, you satisfy the criteria, you will be able to apply. Okay, and investors usually meaning to invest in probably any of the financial products to get yourself a PR residency. Okay, and student visas, if you want to study overseas, we can help as well. Corporate relocations, we help business to move their company, their employees, or even their factories to different countries. Citizenship direct passport program, okay, by sometimes by donation, by investing into properties. Also, family visas. If let's say today you have relatives in certain countries, they do allow direct sponsorship for that as well. Employer sponsorship, as you know, is you have to get a job offer. Okay, so they can sponsor you either work visa or sometimes a direct PR. Depends on the country. Entrepreneur would be more through setting up business in another country in order for them to give you a visa. Okay, so why should you choose AIMS? Because we provide a full spectrum of services. Like as mentioned earlier, we help with visa application, we help with relocation, and if let's say you have pets, you want to bring them over, we also can help you with that. Or if you want to find schools for your children, you want to find houses, we will be able to assist. So we have dedicated consultants to look after your migration journey, and because we have been in this industry for 14 years, so we are very well versed with all the migration policies. So we are able to give you instant updates on what's happening with your applications, what's happening with the policies right now. Okay, offices right now, the offices we have, if you happen to be nearby, okay, and you have some documents or your relatives will be able to pass the documents to our offices, for example, in Manila, then I mean, right now there is like you can scan the documents, but sometimes you feel that you want to talk to somebody, so you can pop by our offices. Okay, so in order for us to help you, okay, we do have immigration lawyer, okay, to assist with your case as well, to be the representative. So this is for Australia, okay. They have the MARA license, and this is the number you can check online. For Canada, we also have Sue, who will be representing your case for Canada. Okay, so Australia and Canada actually are the most livable cities in the world. As you can see, 3 cities of each country are in the list. Okay, so this is a survey done in 2019, and is actually divided into 5 categories: stability, healthcare, culture, and environment, education, and infrastructures. So this is one of the reasons why a lot of our clients, a lot of people who still want to migrate to these 2 countries. Okay, so let's start and let's begin with Australia first. So why should you choose Australia? Because it's ranked number 13 in the world for ease of doing business. Okay, if you intend to set up business there, there is world-class education. If let's say next time you want to further your study or for your children, quality of life, as you can see in the pictures, these are probably the sceneries you won't be able to find in Singapore. So there's a lot of things outdoor you can do in Australia. So in terms of education, if today you were not a PR or citizen, these are the fees you are looking at paying, okay, for each year. But where is for PR citizenship is free of charge until secondary school. So for university, it's also heavily subsidized. Okay, I give you an example. Maybe local students, they pay about 8,000 a year for tuition fees, whereas for overseas students, they are probably paying 30,000, 40,000, depends on the course they study. So it's a huge savings to have a PR. Healthcare, okay, is free. Medical, also free, almost free to give birth in Australia. There is a minimum salary in Australia, which is the hourly rate is $19.49. So Australia is known to be one of the countries that has a higher salary. Okay, for example, my clients have shared with me, he's a nurse. He's earning probably 4,000 plus a month. Okay, in Singapore, registered nurse. But when he got his PR, he straight away got 2 job offers in Australia within 1 month. Okay, and the package he's receiving is equivalent to about 9,000 plus a month. So these are the things, these are the perks you can get when you go to Australia. Okay, cost of living. So to buy a house like this in Singapore, you will be looking at probably millions of dollars. Okay, 300,000 plus. You probably can buy a HDB flat, 3-room flat in Singapore, but whereas in Australia, this is the kind of houses you will be getting. And same as for cars, 20,000 brand new car. Whereas in Singapore, you cannot even buy the COE for that. So that is also other reasons why people want to migrate. So how do you know whether you are qualified. Okay. For skill migration, there are 3 different subclasses: 189, 190, 491. So for 189 and 190, right, is a direct PR. Okay. Whereas for 491 is a provisional visa. Okay, it's convertible to a PR after you satisfy the condition. So the conditions will be you have to stay and work in a regional area for 3 years for the 491 visa, and then you are able to apply for the PR, permanent residence. So for the 189, 190, right, direct PR, but with different conditions. If you apply through the state, then yeah, you will have the obligation to stay in that state for at least 2 years. So the common criteria in order for you to apply, for example, you have to be below 45 years old. You have to pass the skills assessment. Skills assessment meaning to say that today you say you're IT professional. So of course we will have to send your documents in based on your employment letter, based on your qualification for the assessing authority in Australia to see, for them to determine whether you are IT professional. So this is not up to us to say it, but of course we will be able to assist you with this skills assessment process. Competent English is the minimum requirement. Meaning to say it's equivalent to IELTS. Everybody have heard of IELTS right here. Yeah. So it's equivalent to IELTS 6 each. Listening, reading, writing, speaking. Okay. And you have to pass the medical check and police check, meaning you have to be healthy. But today, if you tell me I'm not very healthy, maybe I have neck pain, joint pain, all this, it's not big problem, so you don't have to worry. So if you have not really committed any crimes, okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Minimum passing mark is 65 points. Okay, so if you satisfy all this, then yes, you will be eligible. And how do we get 65 points? It's based on your age. So if you are between 25 to 32 years old, you get the highest points, which is 30. But if you are between 33 to 39, you will still be able to get 25 points. Okay, so English, computer English is the minimum requirement. However, you don't get any points from that. So if let's say you have proficient English, which is equivalent to 7 in each category, you'll be able to claim 10 points, which is quite achievable. Okay. Qualification wise, most of our clients who have a bachelor degree or master degree, you'll be able to get 15 points. Okay. And overseas skilled employment meaning outside of Australia. Okay. If you have 3 years, 5 points, up to 8, more than 8 years, you have 15 points. Okay. But different occupation, right? There is some different rules. For example, skilled team leads. Meaning to say that they might deduct a few years of your work experience, but depends on your professional. For this one, right, we will be able to advise you during our consultation later on. Other points that which you can claim, for example, you have worked in Australia, okay, you have studied in Australia, or in a regional area in Australia, you might be able to claim additional points. Okay, so if today you are single, okay, straight away 10 points for you. If you're married or you are in a de facto relationship and your partner is able to satisfy the skills assessment, okay, also be able to get competent English level, he or she will be able to contribute 10 points to this application. Okay, so to go through if let's say your partner's skill is not really in the in-demand list for Australia, but if they go for English exam and get 6 each, they will still be able to contribute 5 points. Okay. So if you go through subclass 190, which is sponsored by the state, they will give you 5 points. Or subclass 491, they will give you additional 15 points. Okay. So I just want to highlight the differences between the 3 types of visa. Okay, 189 is a direct PR. Okay, meaning to say that you can stay, you can work anywhere in Australia. There is no actually not a requirement for work, but you can stay, then you'll be able to every 5 years, as long as you stay a total of 2 years. For the 190 visa, is sponsored by the state, so you will have to stay in that state for at least minimum 2 years. 491 visa is not yet a PR, it's a temporary residence visa. So you work and you stay for 3 years in a regional area, you will be able to convert to a PR. Okay. So how does the process work? So today you want to migrate, okay, then you say, okay, I want to start. However, we cannot do that yet. We have to make sure that you are eligible. So we will do a consultation with you, okay? We will do a point test for you to see whether you have a chance to migrate. Then after the consultation, you officially engage our service. Okay, we will help you to prepare for the skills assessment, collect all the documents. A checklist will be provided. So skills assessment in general usually takes about 3 months. You can start also working on your IELTS exam. And then when we have both results, okay, the result is positive, meaning to say that they recognize your profession, okay, then we can go to the next step, which is to expression of interest, EOI, or to apply for the state nomination, which is the 190, the 491 visa. Okay, depends on what the state's open at that time. We'll be able to advise accordingly. So once you receive the invitation, that is when we can launch the visa application. We submit all the documents. You go through the medical check, police check, and then we launch the visa application. 9 to 12 months later, your visa will be granted. Okay, so it does sound quite easy, okay, but in between there is a lot of documents and the process can be quite tedious, but don't worry, we will be able to handle you throughout this whole process. The other perk of having an Australia PR is that, okay, as an Australian PR, you can actually live and work in New Zealand, okay, and become their residents. So not the other way around. So usually we will say that once you are Australian PR, it's actually one application for 2 countries, okay. So if you really realize that after you stay in Australia for a while, you don't like it, then you can have a second choice and go to explore New Zealand as well. Okay, so that's a brief introduction for Australia. Right now, I'm going to go through the Canada. Okay, same reason. Okay, with this beautiful scenery like that, I cannot find it in Singapore, unfortunately. Maybe if there is, you can tell me. Okay, so quality of education, actually very similar to Australia. Also free education until secondary school, free medical as well. Cost of living also the same or similar. Okay, cars are cheaper, houses are cheaper. So one of the reasons why right now a lot of people are wanting to migrate to Canada is because there are a lot of jobs out there, not enough workers. So the immigration decided to invite more than 1 million skilled workers to their countries. So that's why right now a lot of quota, there's a lot of quota. In a way, yes, it is easier to apply, although the points, the cutoff points has been quite high, but it's purely because of the COVID, okay? So the invitation round has slowed down, but right now Canada really start to pick up this process again. Almost every 2 weeks there is a selection and they're inviting 4,000 plus 5,000 people. So we will probably hoping that the cutoff points will drop eventually, okay? So how do you know whether you are qualified for Canada? Basically, it's also quite similar to Australia, based on your age, your qualification, English level, also 6 each, okay? Working experience, whether you have any relatives in Canada, whether you have any job offer in Canada, okay? And there is also a points test to meet minimum 67 points, okay? Then after you meet the minimum 67 points, we can move on to the next one, which is the door is open for you, okay? We go through the express entry, okay? The criteria for the express entry is that you have to be above 18 years old, okay? You have to at least have 1 year continuous work experience, okay? And your skill, the job that you do has to be in the list NOC 0A or B. Also, you have to have at least minimum 6 in IELTS general, okay? And then minimum a diploma, pass the police check, medical check, and pass the 67 points. How do we get these points? Okay, so if today you are married or in a common law relationship, so in Australia they call it de facto, in Canada they call it common law. Basically, you have a partner, okay? There are 2 points tests. So if you have a partner, then you will be looking at the married or common law points. Or if you're single, then you'll be looking at the other one. So age maximum, you can actually get up to 110 points, and in terms of qualification, 150. So in language level, 160 points. So this, because the points, right, is very, very, very detailed. So we can only conduct the points for the points test for you later on. But this is for you to get an idea how it works. So your partner will also be able to contribute points based on their qualification, based on their English level, and based on whether they have any work experience in Canada. Okay. So usually Usually for Canada, another thing is we will advise our client to get CLB 9, which is equivalent to English, IELTS, General, Listening 8, Reading, Writing, Speaking 7. Because with a CLB 9, this is the score level, and at least 1 degree, okay, 1 credential, you will get additional 50 points. Easy as that, okay? And 3 years working experience plus this score, another 50 points. So if today you have any siblings living in Canada, if they are a PR or citizen, they are able to contribute 15 points to your application. If you can speak French, you study in Canada, you work in Canada before, you have a job offer, you will also be able to get additional points. But this is the 600 points, as you can see at below, right? This is something I want to highlight to you. So it's actually quite similar to the state nomination. Okay, you go through in Canada, they call it provinces. So you go through the province nomination, depends on their requirements. For example, some they need to have a job offer. Some, if your occupation is in the in-demand list and they based on the points, then they will decide whether they want to invite you. Okay, not giving you a job offer. They give you the 600 points on top of your individual score. So with this 600 points, right, basically it's a guaranteed invitation. Okay. So we will help you. We will try. We will explore this pathway for you as well. And the process-wise, quite similar. Okay, we do the consultation again. We make sure you're qualified. Then we go through the qualification assessment. So Canada, the first thing is to assess your qualification, not the work experience. So we will send it in for assessment. The result is positive. Again, we apply for the expression of interest, and then we also explore the provincial nomination program, the 600 points. We will check through all your documents. When you receive the invitation, then we submit the visa application. And then again, depends on their processing time, usually about 6 to 8 months. Then you will be receiving a direct PR, permanent residence. This is the direct PR program, okay? And if let's say you got the 600 points from the provinces, so you have the obligation to stay in that province for 2 years. That's the only condition. Okay, so this is just a sample of the approval letter from our clients, okay, for Canada PR. Okay, so for Canada, it's quite easy to apply for passport, okay, if you want to do so. You have to stay in the country for a total of 3 years, okay, then you complete the citizenship test. Okay, Canada and Australia actually has very strong passport, so mostly it's based on how long you have stayed and whether you have been good in the country, have not committed any crimes, then you should be able to apply for the citizenship. So actually, this is also the summary of Canada through the express entry. So for today, okay, we will that's all from us. But for those who are watching at home, right, if you do want to find out whether you're eligible, which country is more more suitable for you, okay, do approach us, okay, or leave your numbers, PM us, okay. Then one of our consultants will be in touch with you, arrange an appointment with you, and do the eligibility test with you. So thank you very much for watching us again at home, and we wish you to have a very good weekend. Okay, we'll see you very shortly next time. Thank you. Bye bye.